Most people think waking up early without feeling tired is about sleep duration. It isn't. It's about timing, prediction, and permission. Your brain doesn't just ask, "Did I sleep enough?" It asks something more precise. Is it safe to switch on right now? And that decision is controlled by three systems most people never think about. If even one of these is off, you wake up tired even after 8 hours. Let's go deeper, because this is where it stops being advice and starts becoming control. 1. Your brain runs on scheduled chemistry, not motivation. Every morning your body is supposed to release a cortisol spike, not stress, activation, energy, focus. But here's the part almost nobody understands. That spike is scheduled, not triggered by your alarm. So when you wake up at different times every day, your brain never locks the schedule. And without a schedule, there is no signal. So instead of waking up, you drift up. Slow, foggy, heavy. Not because you're tired, but because your brain wasn't ready. Advanced shift. Wake up at the same time every day, even if the night wasn't perfect. Because you're not fixing today's energy. Because you're not fixing today's energy, you're programming tomorrow's activation. 2. Light is your real alarm clock. Your alarm doesn't wake your brain up. Light does. Specifically, the transition from darkness to brightness. That's the signal your brain trusts. Not sound, not intention, not willpower. Light. So when you wake up and stay in a dim room or immediately look at your phone, your brain stays in night mode. Melatonin doesn't shut off. Cortisol doesn't rise. And you stay stuck in between. Not asleep, not fully awake. That's the worst state. Advanced shift. Within the first 5 minutes of waking, expose your eyes to bright light. Real light, if possible. No sunglasses. No dim corners. No delay. Because this is not a habit. It's a switch. And if you flip it consistently, your brain starts waking you up before the alarm. You're not tired. You're interrupted. This is where people get it wrong. They think they're exhausted, but most of the time, they're just waking up at the wrong moment. Sleep isn't a flat state. It's a cycle. Specifically, a series of waves that repeat every 90 minutes. And if your alarm cuts through deep sleep, your brain doesn't wake up clean. It crashes out of it. That's why you feel slow, disoriented, heavy. Same hours, different timing, completely different experience. Advanced shift. Stop chasing 8 hours. Start aligning with cycles. Set your alarm for 90-minute increments like 7.5 or 9 hours. Pick one. Commit to it. Now you're waking up with your brain instead of dragging it out of sleep. 4. Your night is deciding your morning resistance. Most people look at the morning as the problem, but the mirror tells a different story. Most people try to fix mornings directly. That's why they fail. Because mornings are not the problem, they are just the symptoms of a night that hasn't been prepared. They're the result. Morning resistance is created the night before in 3 ways. It's a chain reaction that starts long before you ever close your eyes. Scattered attention, endless input, unfinished thoughts. This creates open loops. Your brain stays awake trying to solve things you haven't written down yet. And your brain hates open loops because open loops mean uncertainty. And uncertainty means threat. So your brain delays waking up to avoid facing it. It's not that you're lazy, it's that your system is literally advanced shift. Build a shutdown sequence, not a routine, a sequence. Get everything out of your head, plan the next day, and set your environment. Get everything out of your head. Now your brain stops predicting chaos and starts allowing activation. You're clearing the track so your system can finally run at full speed. Your identity is overriding your alarm, because your brain protects identity more than outcomes. If you believe you're not a morning person, you'll fight your own progress to stay right. Because your brain protects identity more than outcomes. So even when your internal system will citate, you still snooze, still delay. Not because you're actually tired, but automatically. Because your hand hits that advanced shift. Stop trying to wake up early. Start collecting proof that you already do. Because identity isn't built by thinking or wishing. It's one morning, then another, then again. No negotiation. Because identity isn't built by thinking or wishing. 6. The real goal is not waking up early. It's waking up clear. Because when your systems align, you don't just open your eyes, you switch on. The real goal is not waking up early. It's waking up clear. Because when your systems align, you don't just open your eyes, you switch on.